So I use a lot of humor. I love humor. If I could use humor every time I was stressed out, I'd sail through life. But sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. For instance, I was out at Washington Dulles Airport a couple of years ago, and I was going through security, and I had a metal watch band on, a metal watch with a metal watch band. And I was going through TSA, and I had to take it off before going through the X-ray machine. So I'm trying to get it off, but the latch is stuck. The little clasp is stuck, and I can't seem to get it. And I finally get it off the end of my hand, and then I dropped it. So I didn't want it to hit the floor, so I try to grab it before it hits the floor, but I don't grab it, I smack it. I smack it like 20 feet. Now, I don't know about you, I don't want to look nervous when I'm going through TSA. And I just smacked my watch 20 feet. And the TSA agent's standing right in front of me, and I'm just, time flies, doesn't it? And he laughed, and I laughed. I went and got my watch, and everything was okay. Now, if I could do that every time, I would be happy. But what happens is my mind gets involved and tries to create drama and stress for me that I don't need. And that does not help me. So I'm back at Washington Dulles Airport. I don't know if you've ever done this before where you're traveling and you get to TSA and they've got 2 TSA agents for one line, and you show them your ID, and then you come around their counter and you're merging into one line. So, you know, as the person from over there comes around, you come around, you just alternate, right? You just take turns getting in line. So that was the scenario here. So I get my ID checked, and I come around the corner. There's a woman coming around at the same time, and I said, oh, please go ahead. She went ahead, but before I could step in line, another woman stepped up in line behind her. That's not the sequencing pattern. And I think she knew she was doing something wrong because she wasn't looking at me. You know, if you're on the highway, you're on the beltway here, and you decide you're not going to let somebody merge, you don't look at them. Because if you do, they give you a hand gesture. You don't need to see that. So she wasn't looking at me, so I think she knew she was in the wrong. So before she could actually put her stuff up on the conveyor belt, I just did this. And I turned around, and she went like this. I'm sitting there thinking, I felt like a parent. Can you use your words? And I turned around to her and I said, I think we're taking turns here. And she said to me, if you're in that big of a hurry, please go ahead. I'm like, no. I'm not in a hurry. We're taking turns. You see, I let that woman in front of me, my wife who is with me, step behind you because we're taking turns. We're alternating. And then I said, we're taking alternations, which made no sense whatsoever. And then she looked at me and she said, oh, it's okay. We'll all wait for you. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm not cutting in line. We're alternating here. Alternate. As in all, like all of us are doing it. Turn, we're taking turns. And 8, even an 8-year-old knows how to alternate. Now, I don't know when in that process it would occur to you that you've just lost it in front of other people. But it hit me right about then, so I'm not making eye contact with anybody. I just want to get through that situation and get to my flight, and then the conveyor belt stops, and I'm just standing there. I can feel everybody just peering a hole through me. And then finally it kicks in, and I walk through the X-ray machine, and it goes, beep. The TSA agent comes up to me and said, sir, you've been chosen for a random screening. They took me and my suitcase and my briefcase, took everything out. I got my belt off, my shoes off. They winded me. They patted me down. And the whole time I'm standing there, I can just see that woman going off to her flight. That's called karma right there. But see, I was upset the whole day. And I was upset not because of what she did. I was upset because of what I did. I let my head get involved. Because see, what would have been the high road today? The high road would have been for me to just simply say, oh, go ahead. But I didn't do that because when she stepped in front of me, here's what my head said to me. She's cheating. You cannot let her cheat. You have to intervene at this moment. If you let her cheat, everybody will cheat. You'll have a line of people an hour long. You will not get to your flight. That's what my head is telling me. That's ridiculous. That's not the reality there. Who knows why she did it? What does it matter? What I should have simply said was, please go ahead, and stepped back in line. And I'll tell you something, be honest with you, that situation changed me. I don't get caught up in it anymore. If I'm at the grocery store and somebody cuts in front of me, or I'm on a plane and somebody jumps up to get off the plane before me, I don't get caught up in it anymore. I just step back and I go, oh, please go ahead. And then as they walk by me, I trip them. Because, see, I can still win. But see, here's what I think is so fascinating. We let these things ruin our day when, in fact, it's us that's ruining the day. Somebody one time said, you can be late and upset, or you can just be late. I think that's a very profound insight. The idea that life is what it is. Whatever the scenario is or whatever the situation is, it is what it is. So let's not get into this mind game about whether it should be that or not. Let's instead try to figure out how we deal with it. And the way we do that is very simple. Something happens, you see it a certain way, and that's what affects you. It's how you see it that affects you.